2026 won't just bring new seasons, it will reopen wounds. The stories we thought were finished are coming back. Darker, heavier, and far more dangerous than before. Zombies that learned, monsters that evolved, systems that never collapsed, only adapted. These aren't sequels made for nostalgia, they're continuations born from consequences. Tonight, we're diving into the Netflix Korean dramas returning in 2026, where survival is no longer the goal. Living with what survived is Gyeongseong Creature, Season 2. Genre: horror, historical, thriller. Platform: Netflix. Monsters don't disappear, they evolve. Gyeongseong Creature wasn't just horror, it was history soaked in blood. Season 1 dragged viewers into a world where colonial cruelty created monsters long before claws and fangs ever appeared. The real horror wasn't the creature hiding in the dark, it was the humans who made it. Season 2 pushes that idea even further. The story moves beyond a single city, beyond a single time period, beyond the illusion that evil can be contained. The consequences of the experiments continue to echo, across generations, across identities, across eras. What was once hidden behind laboratory doors now walks freely among people, blurring the line between human, survivor, and monster. Season 2 explores how trauma is inherited, not erased, what happens when victims refuse to stay silent, and whether humanity can survive when cruelty becomes systematic. The horror this time isn't sudden, it's slow, lingering, psychological. This isn't a story about fighting a monster, it's about realizing the monster was never gone. Hellbound, Season 2. Genre: supernatural, psychological, social horror. Platform: Netflix. Faith was weaponized, now fear is the currency. Hellbound returns to a world already broken by divine judgment, where executions became public events and belief replaced law. Season 2 dives deeper into the chaos left behind. The supernatural is no longer shocking, it's institutionalized. New cult leaders rise, truth becomes fragmented, and society begins to ask a terrifying question. What if the judgments were never divine at all? This season explores power disguised as faith, fear used to control morality, humanity clinging to meaning in a collapsing belief system. Hellbound, Season 2 isn't louder, it's colder. Because the scariest monsters aren't the creatures from hell, they're the people who learned how to use them. The Glory. Aftermath, New Chapter. Genre: psychological, revenge, social thriller. Platform: Netflix. Revenge ended, but damage doesn't disappear. After the devastating conclusion of The Glory, Netflix is rumored to explore a new chapter set in the same emotional universe, not repeating the story, but confronting what comes after justice is served. This time, the focus shifts from vengeance to aftermath. Survivors carry invisible scars, perpetrators face consequences that don't fade with sentencing, and society must confront the uncomfortable truth: punishment doesn't heal trauma. This chapter explores life after revenge, guilt that survives exposure, whether closure truly exists. The tension isn't explosive, it's suffocating, because The Glory was never about winning, it was about remembering. And some memories don't let you move on. Moving, Season 2. Genre: superhero action, family drama. Platform: Netflix. Superpowers were never the problem. Exposure was. Season 1 of Moving ended the moment secrecy collapsed. The world now knows superpowered individuals exist, and once the truth is public, it can never be buried again. Season 2 expands the battlefield. No longer hidden in classrooms or family homes, these abilities become political tools. Governments don't fear superpowers, they want to control them. Parents who once protected their children in silence must now decide: hide and lose everything, or fight and become targets. The next generation struggles with powers that are evolving faster than they can control, abilities no longer inherited, but distorted by fear and pressure. This season focuses on family loyalty under global surveillance, children forced to grow up too fast, the cost of turning people into weapons. Moving Season 2 isn't just bigger in scale, it's heavier in consequence. Because once the world starts watching, there is no safe place left. DP, Season 3, highly anticipated, expected. Genre: military social drama. Platform: Netflix. Some wounds don't bleed, they stay. DP has never been about catching deserters, it has been about exposing a system that creates them. Season 3 is expected to be the most uncomfortable chapter yet. As the unit faces internal collapse, the story turns inward, examining how trauma spreads silently through ranks, commands, and traditions. The violence isn't louder now, it's normalized. This season dives into institutional guilt, the cycle of abuse passed down as discipline. Soldiers forced to choose between obedience and conscience. The question is no longer, why did they run? It becomes, why does the system need them to break? DP Season 3 doesn't offer closure. It offers truth, sharp, unresolved, and impossible to ignore. A Killer's Shopping Mall, Season 2, a shop for killers. Genre, action, thriller, mystery. Platform Netflix. Some inherit houses, some inherit money. She inherited a war. Season 1 shocked viewers by turning a quiet shopping mall into a battlefield, where survival depended on understanding a system built for killing. And then came the revelation that changed everything. Jin Man is alive. Season 2 moves past survival into truth. The assassin network expands, new factions emerge, and the mall is revealed to be only one node in a much larger system. One designed not just to sell weapons, but to control outcomes. Jin is no longer protected, she is targeted, not because she is weak, but because she knows too much. This season explores mentorship that becomes manipulation, protection that hides darker motives, the cost of inheriting power you never wanted. Season 2 isn't asking how to survive. It's asking, was the shop ever meant to save anyone at all? Bloodhounds, Season 2. Genre, action, crime, noir. Platform, Netflix. If Season 1 was about survival, Season 2 is about war. Bloodhounds never glamorized violence. It showed it as exhausting, brutal, and unavoidable. Season 1 followed two boxers dragged into the world of loan sharks, fighting not for glory but to protect family, dignity, and each other. They won, but victory came with scars. Season 2 changes the scale completely. Gun Woo and Woo Jin are no longer facing street-level criminals. They're pulled into a global underground boxing league, a system where violence is currency, bodies are investments, and lives are disposable. This time, fighting back isn't enough. Winning may cost their humanity. Loyalty is tested under controlled brutality. The new enemies don't want revenge. They want ownership. Bloodhounds Season 2 isn't about fists anymore. It's about how long brotherhood can survive when violence becomes business. The Silent Sea, Season 2, rumored in development. Genre, sci-fi, mystery, psychological thriller. Platform Netflix. Space was only the beginning. Season 1 of The Silent Sea was cold, suffocating, and terrifying, not because of what chased the characters, but because of what they uncovered. A secret humanity was never meant to touch. Season 2 expands the story beyond the lunar base. The truth about the water, the experiments, and the hidden agendas grows larger. More political, more global, and far more personal. What was once a classified mission becomes a threat to the entire world. This season explores scientific ambition without ethical limits, information too dangerous to be released, survival that demands moral collapse. In space, there is no sound, no escape, no forgiveness, and once humanity knows the truth, there may be no turning back. Sweet Home Season 3. Genre, horror, dark fantasy, apocalypse. Platform, Netflix. Monsters were never the real horror. Desire was. Sweet Home returns for its final chapter, and this time, there is no illusion of hope. The world has already changed. Humanity has already crossed lines it cannot uncross. Season 3 takes place after fear becomes normal, after transformation becomes routine, after survival loses its meaning. Hinsu's journey reaches its most dangerous phase. He is no longer fighting the monster inside himself. He is deciding whether humanity is worth saving at all. The new season dives deeper into monsters who evolve beyond instinct, humans who willingly abandon morality. Power structures born from fear and desperation. This is not about who becomes a monster. It's about who chooses to stay human, and why. Sweet Home Season 3 isn't horror, it's judgment. All of Us Are Dead Season 2. Genre, zombie, thriller, survival. Platform, Netflix. The outbreak didn't end. It learned. Season 1 of All of Us Are Dead trapped us inside a high school, where fear spread faster than the virus, and survival came at the cost of innocence. Teenagers weren't just running from zombies, they were watching their childhood die in real time. Season 2 breaks those walls completely. The virus is no longer contained. It leaks into the city, into adulthood, into the future. The survivors are older now, but not healed. They carry trauma, guilt, and questions no one can answer. At the center of it all stands Namra, no longer just a victim, no longer just a survivor. She is living proof that the virus is evolving, capable of thought, emotion, restraint, and that terrifies humanity more than mindless monsters ever could. Season 2 explores a society forced to confront intelligent infected governments, debating cure versus control, survivors asking why they lived when others didn't. This isn't a story about escaping death anymore, it's about living with what survived.